And I see my kids maybe like 4 times a week.
Okay.
I see them pretty often, and she's trying to take my kids and move off to Florida.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'm not going for that.
All right. Did she tell you why she was trying to move to Florida?
Because she just want to live her best life.
She said that?
That's what it is. She want to go to the beach, drink coconut balls or whatever they have out there in Florida, and just have her best life.
You don't want her to move to Florida?
No, ma'am.
All right. And you want your child support reduced as a result if she does move? Or
Well,
do you just want it reduced just because?
I just want it reduced just because.
Okay, got it.
I feel like I know dudes that don't see their kids ever and they not on child support. I see my kids multiple times through the week and I'm paying $880 a month.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, I think that tells you everything you need to know about his view of relationships is very transactional.
As late-night pool servicing takes the stage, the courtroom explodes into anarchy. Nobody is persuaded by Dad's explanation for his 8 and 9 p.m. client meetings, particularly in light of Mom's moving account of missing family dinners, forgotten bedtime stories, and priceless moments due to his alleged work obligations.
Very much I do this and you do that, and I think the fact that he didn't even bother to mention our children's names should tell you everything about our relationship.
Well, he told me the ages.
Yeah, well, that's great.
What?
Robert and Madison, that's with a Y.
But she ain't asked for the kid.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Anyway, so going back to, evidently I'm just going to Florida for a permanent vacation. I'm actually going for a job.
All right.
So what's that job?
Robert, and less talking, more listening.
And you do the same thing. All right, now, continue.
Jesus.
So I'm taking the kids to Florida because I have a greater job opportunity.
Okay.
And it's great that he thinks that that he's paying for the right to see his kids, and that there are people who don't pay child support and who see their kids a whole lot. Judge, that tells you everything you need to know about the transactional nature of relationships to Mr. Morris. So look, the fact of the matter is, I guess he doesn't realize that his children are gonna need to eat, whether they live in Texas or they live in Florida. And
That's true.
And they're gonna need new tennis shoes and new clothes, and I guess he just thinks that money goes on trees, or that kids just eat for free. It's not how it works. This isn't TGI Friday.
When monitoring messages became a regular part of Mom's routine, her function as secretary drastically changed. Everything was altered by what she discovered. The truth came to light amid strange texts and late-night pool appointments. Despite her husband's claims that he was only servicing pools, the incessant barrage of offensive messages, which went well beyond any regular upkeep, painted a different image. The judge and jury were astonished by some of the texts, since they were so graphic that they couldn't even be read aloud in court.
His opinion that $880 is too much for the kids is wrong. It is a wrong opinion.
Oh, so it's some hurt feelings there. Okay, I understand. So, have you already moved to Florida, or is this something that you're intending on doing pretty soon?
Well, I took the job offer and I've already found an
So
apartment.
the answer is yes. You pretty much already...
Everything but the U-Haul, Your Honor.
Okay. So in your court order, do you have a geographic restriction because Dad lives here?
Yes, but he moved just outside of Ellis County, so he's just outside of the geographic restriction, so it's technically...
The main topic of discussion in court was Mom's wishes for an opulent lifestyle. The judge was unable to conceal their shock at the $1,800 monthly tuition for a 2-year-old and the full-time nanny on the payroll. It prompted concerns regarding priorities. Were these costs primarily related to upholding appearances, or were they actually for the child's benefit? It was evident that an unsustainable ideal of perfection had overshadowed practicality as the courtroom hummed with rumors.
Okay. And technically, is what you said, but is that what your court order says?
Well, the court order says Dallas and contiguous counties, and he moved like a mile on the other side of the Ellis County line.
Okay, and I do have a copy of your court order here, and it doesn't mention that it's automatically lifted.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking it was the one that.
O is right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
O
Thank
is
you.
right. What?
I'm sorry.
O is right, because you can't just leave. You can't just do that. You actually have to ask permission to modify this order like he did.
Well, can I modify the order to move to Florida?
Did you file anything for today?
I mean,
It's a yes or no.
No.
Okay. So you're moving without asking the court, can you move? And Dad is still living here.
Well, I guess I just didn't understand the way the order was written, because I had heard that if he moved outside of where it said, then I could move out.
Who did you hear that from? Did you Google? You did one of those Google searches? One of the Google lawyers told you that?
She is now leaving her part-time position as a secretary, saying that the pool clients are simply too important to ignore. The worst part is that there isn't a clear plan for what comes next. Rather, she is anticipating complete financial assistance as she figures it out, with little to no hurry. Everyone is left wondering if independence is truly the aim here, as she is more concerned with taking her sweet time than finding a new career.
Okay, because they told you wrong, and that's the problem with Googling everything. You should have actually consulted with an attorney who would have interpreted this order properly to you. You can't just move. So let me tell you what we're going to do, because I think this is the fair thing to do. Regardless to whether you say his visits are inconsistent, he say they're consistent, the reality of it is when you move to Florida, he can no longer have access to those kids. So even if he were coming this day, this day, this day, and did every weekend, he won't be able to do that anymore now that you are going to move to Florida. So what I'm not going to touch is your custody arrangement. Not going to touch that at all. This is a child support court. That has nothing to do with us, okay? So I'm not going to touch it at all. You are free to move to Florida. However, he's coming off child support. So then he can use the money, the $880 or so that he would give you for child support. He can use that to travel to actually see the kids.
But what if he doesn't, Your Honor?
Well, if he doesn't, then after some time of him not doing it consistently, and when I say consistently and consecutively, it needs to at least be about 6 months or something like that, right? Then you can come back and let me know, Judge, he's not exercising regularly. I need some support for these 2 kids, right? But absent anything like that, I believe that's in the best interest of the children. And quite frankly, that's fair. You're moving without permission, right?
Yeah.
Which is a violation of your court order. So it's only fair that he stops paying child support. So beyond a reduction, he's coming off child support today. Now you will have to keep maintaining the health insurance, okay?
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so that, what is it, 362?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll still continue to pay the health insurance, but there will be no child support paid.
Next voice, next voice. In defense of his company, Dad says that pool visits increase referrals and lower marketing costs. Though the timing raises questions, he maintains that it's all about quality control. His argument isn't strengthened by a picture of him lounging in a client's pool. And when the judge asks him for specifics, his memory conveniently becomes hazy, raising even more questions. When Dad says he wants a healthy atmosphere for the children, Mom loses it. When the judge asks him a crucial question regarding his work schedule, his response reveals the truth. The children would actually spend more time with the nanny while in his care. Finally, after much back and forth, the decision and some enlightening calculations are due.